Right, listen up, you landlubbers. Ever wondered how those massive ships, the ones bigger than some countries, don't end up wedged in the Suez Canal? It's not magic, though. It's pretty darn close. It's all thanks to something called steering gear, and trust me, it's way more exciting than it sounds. Imagine trying to turn a shopping cart with a wobbly wheel. Nightmare, right? Now imagine that shopping cart is the Titanic and you're trying to avoid an iceberg. Suddenly, steering becomes a tad more important. That's where steering gear swoops in to save the day. It's the unsung hero of the high seas, the mechanical muscle that makes sure ships go where they're supposed to and not into, say, someone's living room. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the world of maritime maneuvering. Now, forget your grandpa's rusty steering wheel. On a ship, it's not about turning a wheel, it's about moving massive metal bits with enough force to make a tank cry. We're talking hydraulics, electric motors, and enough power to make your hair stand on end. Think of it like this. The captain turns the wheel, or more likely flicks a switch. This sends a signal to the steering gear, which is basically the ship's brain for turning. This brain then tells the muscles, usually hydraulic rams, to get to work. These rams push and pull on something called a tiller, which is a giant metal arm connected to the rudder. And the rudder, my friends, is what actually turns the ship. It's like the fin on a fish, only about 1,000,000 times bigger and heavier. Now, not all steering gear is created equal. Just like cars, you've got your basic models and your supercharged beasts. Smaller ships might use something called mechanical steering, which is like using a wrench to turn the rudder directly. Simple, but you wouldn't want to do it on a supertanker. Bigger ships need something with a bit more oomph, which is where electro-hydraulic steering comes in. This is the Rolls-Royce of steering systems, using electricity to control powerful hydraulic pumps. It's smooth, responsive, and can turn a ship the size of a small island with pinpoint accuracy. And then you've got your fancy pants systems with multiple rudders, variable pitch propellers, and enough computer power to rival NASA. These bad boys can make a ship dance like a ballerina if ballerinas weighed a few thousand tons and moved at the speed of a snail. Section 4. Rudderly ridiculous, when steering goes wrong. Now, before you think steering a ship is as simple as playing a video game, let me tell you, it's not all plain sailing. When steering gear goes wrong, things can get hairy faster than you can say, man overboard, take the time. The Titanic thought it could just, ignore that whole iceberg situation. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well, or the time a cruise ship lost steering and did a rather impressive impression of a bumper car at a fun fair. Not so fun for the passengers, I imagine. These incidents, while thankfully rare, highlight just how crucial a well-functioning steering system is. It's the difference between arriving at your destination in one piece and becoming a cautionary tale in maritime history. Section 5. From canals to capsizing. Why good steering matters. So why all the fuss about steering? Well, for starters, imagine trying to park a car with a broken steering wheel. Now imagine that car is 1,300 feet long, weighs 200,000 tons, and is surrounded by other cars just as big. That's the challenge facing ships every day. Good steering is essential for everything from navigating narrow canals and crowded ports to avoiding collisions and treacherous weather conditions. It's the difference between a smooth voyage and a potential disaster. And it's not just about avoiding crashes. Precise steering is crucial for fuel efficiency, reducing emissions and minimizing the risk of grounding or damaging marine ecosystems. In short, it's about keeping our oceans safe, our economy humming, and our ships from becoming very expensive artificial reefs. Section 6. Smooth sailing. Ahead, the future of steering. So, what's next for the world of steering gear? Well, hold on to your hats, because things are about to get even more high-tech. We're talking autonomous ships, remote-controlled maneuvering, and systems so advanced they can practically smell an iceberg a mile away. Imagine a world where ships navigate themselves, avoiding obstacles and optimizing routes with the precision of a Swiss watch. It might sound like science fiction, but the technology is already here, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes the norm. But whether it's a trusty old hydraulic system or a state-of-the-art computer, one thing remains constant. Steering gear is the unsung hero of maritime navigation, the silent guardian that keeps our ships afloat and our world connected. So next time you see a ship gliding across the waves, spare a thought for the mechanical marvel that's making it all possible.